What up, Cucks? It's your boy, the Hater, up in this pace. And I wanted to do a video, and I think this video is going to answer a lot of random ass comments and questions that I've been getting on YouTube. People seem to think that I'm this huge Roman Reigns fan. I am not, motherfucks. I think Roman Reigns is a great wrestler in many ways, and I think that Roman Reigns is the biggest star that WWE has had in the last few years. But the reason why I want Roman Reigns to be champion, and the reason why I wanted Roman Reigns to beat Cucky Rhodes, was so we could see Roman Reigns versus The Rock, right? Because that's a big match. Now, don't get it twisted. The A side of that match is, and always will be, the people's champion. You know what I mean? The Rock is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And Roman Reigns is, he's a good wrestler for the current era that we're in. But let's be real. Like Roman Reigns, even though he's main evented many WrestleManias, the amount of big moments he's had are pretty much his title run, which is I consider to be one moment, because I don't care that he beat Sami Zayn in No Way Out or something. Like, nobody cares, right? And as a matter of fact, the title of this video should have already given it away, but I'm here now to declare conclusively that in my personal opinion, Solo Sikoa is now more interesting than Roman Reigns. I don't know if he's better per se, but he's definitely been better these last few months, right? This season, if you will, he's been better. Now, this doesn't mean much because the entire storyline is predicated on the conclusion that Roman Reigns is going to smash all these jobbers. But let's not get it twisted. If we look at Solo Sikoa's promo from the SmackDown in Berlin, we will see that Solo Sikoa basically explains very, very carefully what he has done during his reign as tribal chief. Not much necessarily, but as much as he could possibly do. So we gotta give some props where props are due, right? Solo Sikoa has carried SmackDown largely, right? He is getting better on promos, and quite frankly, the storyline with Roman Reigns, he's been carrying that shit too, right? As far as I'm concerned, Roman Reigns' return has been completed, number one, and has been a colossal failure. If Roman Reigns returns again, the wind has already been moved away from the sails, right? This is going to be a flaccid return now as compared to the first return, which was supposed to be the return. Now, with all that being said, there comes a point where we have to acknowledge the truth. In kayfabe, pretty much all that's happened in the last 4 months is Roman Reigns has cost Solo Sikoa one match and beaten him up a couple of times. In that same kayfabe, Solo Sikoa has destroyed Roman Reigns' group, has destroyed Roman Reigns' wise man, has beaten up Roman Reigns' cousin Jimmy, has completely humiliated Roman Reigns in the context of who is tribal chief. He has stolen the pepper necklace, right? And then to cap this all off, he has added random ass people to the group, taken control of the group, and finally, he has put Roman Reigns out. The beating that Roman Reigns gave to Solo Sikoa no-sold like a Samoan might, and he just got up, he came back the next week, and beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, who hasn't been seen for weeks. Inexcusable. The only way this can be interpreted is Roman Reigns has been beaten so bad by Solo Sikoa that he's still recovering in the hospital. Otherwise, what the hell is he doing? What the hell is he doing? You know what I mean? Solo Sikoa just basically said, I took everything from you. And Roman Reigns is like, you did. See you when I see you. See you when you're in town. You know what I mean? Like, Roman Reigns is not going after Solo Sikoa for revenge. So when he does, I will have no interest in this whatsoever. I might even want Solo Sikoa to win. I'm starting to think that the better choice here would be to have Solo Sikoa win, because at the very least, Solo Sikoa is a hungry guy, and he might stick around. He might stick around, Roman Reigns doesn't show up at all at this point. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, we've been waiting 4 months for Roman Reigns to stand up for himself. He stood up for himself once, got his ass kicked, and went home again. What the fuck? Have you lost your mind? This is the guy that I'm supposed to get behind? OTC, get the fuck out of here, you know what I'm saying? It is not a good storyline. And at this point, I look forward more to what Solo Sikoa is going to do next than to what Roman Reigns is going to do next. Because I know what Roman Reigns is going to do next. He's going to take some time off. He's going to come back and beat Solo Sikoa. Now, I will say that I think Alpha is the one who passed away. Or one of them passed away. It's Roman Reigns' dad, right? So maybe he's been dealing with that, and that's rather understandable. You know what I mean? I can't hate on that. If that's what's going on, then it's just bad timing, and there's something you can do about it. But, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like, look, your father passed away, and I empathize with that, but you can show up once a week to continue doing your job, especially since you've taken all this time off, right? I don't suspect it's that. I suspect it's just the storyline, because Solo Sikoa's uncle, like, you know, they're all related. He passed away. This is the same guy, right? And he's showing up, you know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like, I don't think it's that. Now, it could also be leukemia. I hope it's not, because that would be devastating. But the fact is, Roman Reigns is not getting it done, motherfucks. I can only go with what I see on TV, you know? And quite frankly, because Roman Reigns leaves all the time, I suspect it's neither the father's death nor the leukemia. I suspect it's just Roman Reigns not wanting to show up, you know? And this is inexcusable because the story needs to be told. And during this story, shit needs to happen. But none of these things are happening. So at this point, I don't care about Roman Reigns anymore, motherfucks. What do you think of them apples? I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't like people that pretend that they're back and they're not back, right? I didn't like it when The Rock did it. I don't like how The Rock came out on Raw after WrestleMania and said, The Rock has to go away now. You know, it's like, what? After Cody Rhodes did all this shit, you have to go away now? Like, it's time for your next thing? Basically, wrestling's not important enough? John Cena's like, it's the last time is now tour. He hasn't been back since. I understand that he's going to show up only on big moments, but it's like, hey, man, you know, maybe you can do like a nice little, you know, like every couple of weeks, Cena shows up and has a match. You know, you could do something to entertain the fans instead of just milking the moments dry and having 3 moments. And that's the problem that I have with Roman Reigns. It's not necessarily Roman Reigns. It's probably not his fault, right? It's like somebody wrote this shit down and they're like, this is how we're going to do it. I have an issue with the storyline itself. And the storyline itself is very, very poor. The storyline itself is very, very shallow. And the storyline itself has made Roman Reigns look like a complete pussy, right? Basically, Roman Reigns got beaten by Cody, had to leave for months. Then he got his ass beat by Solo Sikoa. He hasn't been seen for weeks. You know, what the fuck? When is he going to show up, man? When is he going to show up? He's going to show up probably at this point, honestly, straight up, before November to do the Survivor Series match. And then they're going to win there, let's say, right? Maybe they'll have one more singles match, and then it's time for January, motherfucks. Then it's time for the Royal Rumble again. And it's like this year, Roman Reigns will have had like 3 matches. And I get it, that's how Roman Reigns operates, but it's inexcusable when someone is pretty much taking everything from you in the storyline, and you're just like, I'll show up when I want. That's it? He's going to beat Solo Sikoa and take the necklace, and that's it? Like, he just let this guy become tribal chief for a year? The storyline, in my opinion, I don't know anything about Samoan culture, but where I'm from, if someone punks you out, you show up the next day. You don't wait a year, right? Maybe that's how it is in Samoa. Maybe in Samoa, it's like, I'll show up when I want to defend my honor, and you can, like, just fuck with me until I'm ready. You know, I don't know how it works. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. But it doesn't, you know, translate well with me. I don't like it very much. So at this point, like, basically, it's like this, motherfuckers. There comes a point where, you know, the undying love that some people have for certain wrestlers, including Roman Reigns, needs to take a backseat to who is contributing, right? The same way that my respect for Otis, and hell, even my respect for Grayson Waller and Austin Theory has grown, right? My respect for Solo Sikoa has grown. You know, this guy is out there wrestling all the time, you know what I mean? And he's out there every week doing shit. Yeah, he's not wrestling every week because he's part of our group and the group needs some exposure. But on any given Thursday, right, chances are that there's going to be at least one segment that is being handled by the Bloodline, right? And often you'll see a segment and then you'll see a match. It'll be like 2 of the jobbers versus somebody else. So they're putting in work. It's like them and Judgment Day are carrying SmackDown and Raw respectively, you know? Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Seth Rollins hasn't been seen. Like, Seth Rollins was injured for like 6 months before WrestleMania. He came back. I thought, you know, he was back, right? He's been gone for another like 6 weeks. What's that all about, you know? We need people to come back and be full-timers again. You know, it was cute when Brock Lesnar did it. It was cute when Roman Reigns did it, and it was tolerable because they're Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and they're the champions. So you don't need the champion to be there every week because you can have someone, like, you can have a storyline about who's going to fight the champion next, right? If your champion is either Brock Lesnar, who is like one of the best wrestlers of all time, and Roman Reigns, who is Roman Reigns, who is presented, even though he's not one of the best wrestlers of all time, he is presented as one. So if it's those guys, it's understandable. But if it's Cookie Rhodes and Gunther, you better fucking be there every week, motherfuckers. Because if you're not there every week, then what the hell am I watching? You know? And the answer to that question is, I'm watching Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, who's been killing it this year, fucking, you know, some of the women too, you know, Lyra Valkyria. It's like basically everyone that I've said is a jobber is actually they're the only people that are trying. You know, and I will always respect a trying jobber more than I will respect a star who doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Maybe that's been lost in the shuffle sometimes during my videos, but ain't no way that I'm gonna live in an environment where, for example, I look forward to the 19th return of Charlotte Flair. All she does is she comes in, does one match, then gets hurt for 9 months, and comes back, does another match, then gets hurt for 9 months, and it's like she's like 45 or some shit, and she hasn't wrestled for like 10 years consistently. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, you're not big enough for that shit. You're not big enough for that kind of career, right? You're not, motherfuckers. Becky Lynch, like she would do that all the time. Asuka, like Bailey, like all these women, they don't come out there and like do their jobs. They think it's like they're all jobbers, including Roman Reigns. Like if you compare Roman Reigns to like Stone Cold, for example, ain't no doubt about it. Stone Cold's like 100 times the draw that Roman Reigns is. And Stone Cold was wrestling every week in the Attitude Era. He was out for 9 months, and his ghost, motherfucks, the Stone Cold ghost, loomed over every storyline that involved the title. The question always was, it doesn't matter who's the champion, because eventually Stone Cold's coming back, and he's going after it, cucks. And he's going after the guy that ran him over. You know what I mean? Nowadays, it's like, you know, you have people like Roman Reigns, he's basically been run over, you know? How great would it be if there was like a twist that it was Rikishi all along, you know? But anyways, Roman Reigns has been run over, metaphorically speaking, and he just comes back, gets his ass kicked, and leaves. What the hell is this? How about you get your ass kicked, come back the next week, and kick ass? You know? They didn't beat him that bad. So that being said, motherfucks, I got nothing more to say about this. You know? Roman Reigns has dropped the ball, and for better or for worse, Sikoa has picked up the motherfucker and ran with it. And I gotta give props to that. So take care of yourselves, cucks, and screw Roman Reigns.